advancing. KEEKER moves to the 6th position. He starts in the pole. Rick HOWERTON starts outside row 1. In the 2nd row, your defending national champion Robbie Stanley and his nemesis Eric Gordon. In row 3 on the inside, Bruce Roby. Your fast qualifier is Tony Stewart. He starts outside row 3. There's Tom Bigelow in 14, the old veteran, and Jim Mahoney in number 1. In the 5th row, Steve Butler, a 4-time champion. Doug KALITTA, a youngster outside. In the 6th row, we look at Donnie Adams and the veteran Bob CICCONI from Pennsylvania. In row 7, Bruce Field and Chip Thomas. The 8th row, on the inside, we find Tom Nichols from Florida, Dave Durnwald from Ohio. In row 9, Trey House and Rocky Hodges, the dirt track specialist. And in row 10, Gary Cameron. Good marriage between the Beast chassis and the V6 Chevrolet. And there is the green. We are underway. And HOWERTON gets a good jump. Now, you talked about the kind of jump we might anticipate. HOWERTON got the jump coming off the front straightaway, now down the back straightaway, and there's the gap between 1st and 2nd.
Very good start. HOWERTON did get the jump on him, coming off of 4. KEEKER fell right in behind him. He didn't take any chances trying to run in under him. KEEKER has the advantage. He knows he's got the time. He's going to sit right there, try to ride there, find some way of getting around him. But he can't ride there very long because right behind him is Robbie Stanley, and Robbie Stanley waits on nobody.
KEEKER has a weight advantage with that V6 in this chassis. So what's the strategy now? Run it up high, keep the momentum up?
Well, everything is built around saving tires on the pavement. You have to run as absolutely fast as you can, but at the same time, you've got to get the power to the ground and run through the corners fast. You've got to save the tires, but go fast at the same time, and that's kind of a ticklish situation to do all those things at one time.
Well, Stanley was working all over KEEKER. Look who is right behind Stanley. His old nemesis from quarter midget days as a youngster. They're still racing nose to tail. That is Gordon. Slides a bit coming through 4.
See, that's right. Because every time you try to relax, every time you try to save your tires, somebody sticks their nose up beside you, and you know you can't. You've got to stop relaxing and start standing on the gas.
Well, now KEEKER looks to the inside, going down the backstretch.
Stanley was in a very bad situation right there. He had his wheel right up the side of KEEKER, and he couldn't. KEEKER didn't know he was there, so he had to back out of it and let KEEKER have the racetrack where he could have ended up in the fence going down that back straightaway.
And of course, as Stanley is concentrating on getting by KEEKER, he may not be aware that he has Gordon right on his heels.
Stanley and have a lot of smoke coming out of Donnie Adams' car.
Donnie Adams in the white number 4 has apparently just lost a power plant, and the yellow flag does not come out, so we are still racing as he is out of the way, out of the groove, and he is headed for the infield.
Yeah, smoke's coming right out of the header, right out of the exhaust, so he's blown a head gasket or something. It's water and steam coming out of the exhaust. Look at this. Here goes Stanley down on the inside. Can he make it stick? Can he hold him down there? He can't. KEEKER keeps going. He keeps his momentum up. He's got the momentum, and he pulled right back around it. A great job of KEEKER. That's a brave move to stay on the outside of somebody when they run up there and run that tire that close to you.
Down the backstretch. Ahead for turn number 3. There is HOWERTON out in front. Fighting in 2nd is KEEKER, and there's a look back from KEEKER's car. And you just saw the nose slide across the back. Stanley works in 3rd position. 4th is Gordon. Now
KEEKER tries to go to the inside. He's got to be careful, though, because he knows if he doesn't make it, Stanley's going to move right up on the outside and take that position away. HOWERTON does a fantastic job. Kept the momentum up, pulled right away from him. Nice, cool move by Rick HOWERTON.
But is this a case where perhaps KEEKER can make HOWERTON abuse his tires?
He's going to try to make him abuse his tires, and he's going to try to make him make a mistake. He's going to try to show his nose down low. He's going to try to get Rick to move down on the racetrack a little bit. And when Rick moves down, then he'll try to go around him on the outside. If Rick doesn't move down, then he'll go ahead and try to get him on the bottom side. He's trying to make Rick HOWERTON make a mistake or move around on the racetrack so he isn't running quite as fast as he is right now. Because right now, Rick HOWERTON has him covered.
HOWERTON is a 3rd-generation driver. You raced against his dad a few times, didn't you?
I certainly did. His dad was a heck of a race car driver. The kid had a tough start in this business. He had a few crashes. He got kind of a bum rap a few times, but he's a good race car driver.
Well, we understand now, and looking at Steve Butler, the white 69, he's moved up some 3 positions, and here's a guy that normally qualifies very well, but if he doesn't qualify well, you can't count him out.
Bruce Roby in front of him is very loose. You saw the back end of that car slide out. He's very loose, so it looks like Butler might have a chance to get around him if he keeps sliding around like this. This is a great shot. Look at Jimmy KEEKER. Whoa!
Butler is indeed in trouble as he gets into Jim Mahoney in the red number 1. The yellow does fly as 2 cars are parked on the racetrack.
Butler
over the
Mahoney.
third turn.
Robbie, he gives a big, this is the patented slide job that he's so famous for. He bottoms out. When that thing bottoms out, it raised the race car up off the racetrack. He might have gotten that oil from that car that blew the engine. And then poor old Mahoney, he didn't have any place to go. He just comes in there, T-bones the left rear, up on top of him, bang into the wall. That's a pretty good shot.
Been able to take the measure of young Rick Howerton. Rick was the Rookie of the Year in this division 2 years ago. Did not have a good season last year. Didn't run as much last year as the year before last.
I think Howerton is doing, oh, just as I start to say, he's doing a fantastic job. He makes a little mistake, but KEEKER doesn't get around him. That was a fantastic job by Rick Howerton. He could have been shaken very badly. And look at this. Robbie Stanley goes right around the outside. As KEEKER went to the bottom, he got out of the groove. This looks like NASCAR. You get out of the line, baby, and they're all going to go around.
They're going to draft down the straightaway. And look at that KEEKER, who I predict would win it, goes from second back, I think, to about fifth now. Oh, what happened there? Did he smoke the tire?
Exactly what happened was he got out of line. He got out of the groove. He moved down to go around those guys, Howerton. And when he did, everybody in line behind him went right on around him. And it could happen right here to Robbie Stanley. Look at Eric Gordon. He's moved right up behind Howerton, and he's going to lose a couple of spots. Oh, no, he didn't.
One mistake there, and about 5 guys are going to be taken out. Look at it, side by side, off the corner. Howerton up high, Stanley down low, and here comes Gordon for good measure.
That time, Gordon did do just exactly what I said. He stayed up there. He took the groove away from Stanley. When Stanley moved down, he took the groove away from him. Look at Stewart. He's going to do the same thing. Oh, he moved right down. Stanley moved up, almost hit it. There goes both of our guys to the back, simply because they pulled out of line.
Tony Stewart up to third now. Remember, if he can win this thing, there's an extra $3,000 up for grabs from wins because he was the fast qualifier. He's up to third. Here comes Stanley to the inside.
Boy, every time you pull out of line, here we go. Eric's going to move down. He doesn't go around Howerton. No, he didn't pull down. He tried to pull down, but he thought better of it.
15 laps down, 15 laps to go. Off the corner, down the backstretch. Dave, what do you think of this?
I tell you what, guys, you didn't let me pick. I'm going to make an emotional pick. I want to see Rick Howerton win this thing. I think he's doing a heck of a job.
Oh, it would be a great victory for Rick. It really would. I tell you, nobody would be happier than his dad.
That's exactly right. He's doing a fantastic job. That kid's keeping his cool. Everybody on the racetrack is taking a shot at him. Everybody's trying to go around him, and he stayed right there. Look right here. Look right here what's happening. Eric Gordon, again, he moved out of line. He couldn't make the pass, and now look at Tony Stewart. He stayed right in the groove, and every time somebody moves down, he moves up a spot, and I think he's going to go right into second place right here.
There goes Stewart. Oh, car to the wall.
Oh,
he climbs the wall. That is car number 9.
Boy, oh boy, he was almost, it's a
Bruce
good
ROBBIE
thing.
almost went over the wall.
It's a good thing Lex Studis and the crew here at Indianapolis Raceway Park have a good fence and a good cable system around this racetrack, or he would have been.
We're going back to green.
Jackie Howerton never had gray hair till his kids started racing. Same with you, right? All right, we're racing again. Third is the best he has ever done in a feature, but right now, oh, 3 abreast coming through 1. Look at that move by Stanley.
Robbie Stanley tried very hard to make all that speed up in one car.
Look at that. Stanley upside down.
Oh, my gosh.
Sliding upside down on the roll cage through turn 3. The red flag is out. Stanley, you can see the cage doing its job as the sparks fly off the car.
It does look like Rick Mears did exactly the same thing in that Indy car, but he got up over a wheel. The cage did its job. He wasn't touching. That was the metal that was touching the ground. That was what all the sparks were from. It was doing its job keeping him away from the racetrack, and that's what it was on there for. He was very anxious. Look at this. They're coming off there. They moved down. Stanley and Gordon both moved to the bottom. Stanley just moved up. He moved right up and ran into the car, the 25 car.
Tony Stewart ran over the nose of Tony Stewart.
Got upside down. The left rear hooked on the wall, and that's what left him up there. That left rear hooked over the wall, just kept the car sliding right down the wall. There was no rubber touching the ground. It was all metal. That's why it slid for so far. I think that's the farthest I've ever seen a car go upside down like that. Boy, I think...
You think every now and then he kind of opens his eyes to see where he is?
Well, I don't know. But look at that. He just moved up. Poor old Tony Stewart was clear up against the fence, had no place to go. Robbie just moved up a little bit further.
Robbie almost went over the wall.
He certainly did. He had a very good chance of getting clear out of this place, but that fence held him in. It hooked over that thing and just slid right along the wall, clear around three-quarters of the way around that.
Larry,
corner.
I can remember when they first put a roll cage on a midget back in the late 60s. And guys, your leader once again for the restart is Rick Howerton. Eric Gordon rides in second position.
and he goes right to the bottom on the start. He's going to try to get around him right off that fourth corner. He goes upside him. He can't make it. He has to pull back in behind.
Now remember, a car involved in that altercation over there on the backstretch was Tony Stewart in 25. But he was there on the last. They revert back a lap, and he was in third, so that's the position on the restart.
Look at KEEKER. He, too, tried to pull down to the inside. This reminds me so much of the NASCAR we've seen. They try the inside, they get out of line, they lose a spot, and they just can't afford to pull down there unless they're sure they can make the pass, because if they do, they lose a position. Here we see Gordon. He's again going to pull up. Oh, look how close he gets down there to Howerton. Very close. Can't make it stick. Has to pull. Look how hard Howerton got all out of shape. This is going to be Gordon's best chance to get around him. Nope, can't do it. Oh, he hits Stewart. He hits him.
A problem right there with Tony Stewart. Looked like he almost jumped out of gear.
They ran into each other. He got together with Eric Gordon when they pulled into each other off that corner. He hit him, put him into the fence, and he had to get way out of the throttle to get gathered back up.
It looks like a shootout now between these three drivers right here. We've got the leader, Rick Howerton. Second place, Eric Gordon. Third place, Jim KEEKER.
Jim KEEKER, he went into the corner very hard that time. He lost the back end. He got that right rear a little bit hot. This Howerton kid is doing exactly what he's got to do. He's running fast, and he's running right smack in the middle of the groove, and he's going to make them go someplace on the racetrack that's not as fast as where he's running if they want to go around it.
21 laps now complete. 4 laps to go. Howerton slips just a bit in turn 1, and Gordon looks to the inside, side by side. Look at this view of the battle for the lead from Jim KEEKER's car.
And every time you make a little slip like Howerton did right there, give somebody the opportunity to pull down and go around you. But Eric Gordon couldn't take advantage. There we see KEEKER. He tried to get very low. He couldn't do it. Now Eric Gordon's out the bottom. We're going to see if he can pull in there. He's going to try to give him a big slide job. Running it real hard, slide up. Look at that, Howard. Oh, man, it looks like he might have it done. No, Howerton comes right back. He doesn't give up.
He may have won the race right there, Rice. He may have won it on that turn. I'm impressed.
That was a fantastic job, that kid. He showed a lot of guts to hang in there, because he, at any point, Eric Gordon could have pulled right up into him and put him into the fence. He never wavered a bit.
We have seen some emotional finishes here in Victory Lane. We're going to join Sports Center following the conclusion of this race tonight.
Eric Gordon obviously is a little faster. He's obviously a faster race car, but he isn't quite fast enough to get Howerton. And Howerton's running right in the groove, running fast, and he's going to make Eric Gordon and that 6 car go someplace that isn't as fast as that groove. And look at KEEKER. He's going to move up here, and he's going to take second spot. Oh, he couldn't quite make a stick, and Eric Gordon moved right back up into the slot.
We'll have the results of the Bulls and the Knicks coming up on Sports Center following our racing here. And look at KEEKER on the high side. He's going to take second position. I think maybe the tires are gone on Gordon's car.
Man, oh man, and look at KEEKER now. He went from the top side to the bottom side. Man, oh man, you talk about slip and slide, dip and dive. That's exactly what he did right there.
The way they're racing, 4th place may win this thing tonight.
Look at this. He's clear on the bottom, slip and slide. Look at that. He did it again. He went way to the bottom, slid right up in front of it, and he made it stick that time.
And KEEKER is out in front. We have some 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go now, and KEEKER is out in front. That drops Howerton to second, and third is Gordon. At this point in time, is the disappointment such that Howerton is out of his rhythm?
No, he's trying to run. He's racing just as hard now. He wants to run second. Second's almost as good as first to him at this point. He wants a good finish. Right there, though, I think what you just saw was the fact that a 200-pound lighter race car didn't abuse the tires as much as those heavier race cars jockeying for position.
Well, KEEKER about to go for his second win this season, that Beast chassis with the V6, and as we indicated earlier, we're going to see some more of those chassis and engine combinations coming up this season. But look at this battle for second. He smokes the right rear tire. You saw the smoke come off the right rear of Gordon. That's the battle for second position. Remember, Howerton has a best finish of third in one of these races. Right now, he's second.
And he did another great job right there. He held his ground. He stayed right in the groove. He didn't let Eric Gordon intimidate him or move him out of the groove. He made Eric Gordon turn the wheels and do the sliding instead of him.
Upper right-hand corner of the screen, you saw the white flag. Bill Carey displays the white flag. One more lap as we ride down the backstretch with Jim KEEKER. As he is about to pick up his second victory of the year in 3 outings, he will have won twice and finished second once. Pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive. He did do a fantastic job, but I tell you, Rick Howerton stole my heart here tonight. He did a wonderful job of driving that race car.
Dave Despain, what a great finish. What do you think, buddy?
Rick Howerton was spectacular. KEEKER was just a little bit better. Eric Gordon settles for third. What a Saturday Night Thunder.